So this is your 20 millimeter Oerlikon, developed by the Oerlikon company out of Switzerland. Do you know what side Switzerland fought on?
Neutral?
They're fighting for everybody. Whoever's giving them the money. But yes, technically neutral. So we love this gun. The Navy loved it. Problem is, the company's in Switzerland, and there's U-boats between us and them. So they struck up a deal with the Oerlikon company. They bought the license to build it in the U.S. So hundreds, if not thousands, well, it would have been thousands, of these guns were built in World War II and mounted on ships like Slater. So Slater originally had 10 of these with just 1 barrel each. She came back from Greece with 9 guns, but 2 barrels each. We believe that happened in 1950. But this is also the type of gun Frank Slater was manning in San Francisco when he shot down that plane in November of '42. So you would have a belt behind you to strap you in. Your shoulders would go in the shoulder rest. You can go on that if you like. You would hold on to the 2 handles and you just move the gun with your body.
Yeah. It moves pretty easily, actually. It's not...
And it would have been even easier
Yeah.
because you're greasing it up and maintaining it day by day. I can take this cover off.
So would this have just been one man operating it?
They're going to have a minimum about 3 or 4 guys.
Okay.
This is one of the many game changers of World War II. That's your Mark 14 gun sight. We do have a semi-working one in the back. Basically, there's an air compressor on the front you would turn on, and you have gyros inside here. This is a lead computing gun sight. So you have range and elevation, deflection, all that good stuff. You'll figure out all that information about that plane you're trying to hit, and this will calculate the lead for you. So there's going to be 2 reticles inside. You keep your main reticle on the target, and then it will have another one in front of it to show you where you need to aim, and that's where you fire. So you don't have to figure out, okay, how far in front of this plane do I need to fire so that the bullets eventually hit it. This does all the work for you. Very, very effective.
And so this would have been primarily anti-air.
Yes.
Would have been the use for this.
Problem is, the range on it is not very far. While it can output a rather large number of rounds per minute, the range is not far. So this is generally your last line defense. Mm-hmm. If all the other guns miss, you're hoping your 20s don't. And the problem with the kamikazes, you could shoot the plane up all you want, you could kill the pilot. But unless you just tore it into a million pieces, the wreckage is going to keep going. And if it's, a lucky hit, it's going to keep going and strike your ship. So this can put, many, many holes in that plane, but it might not take it down.
And so there were 10 of these, and how many of the 3-inch guns?
So there's 3 3-inch guns, 2 in the front, there's 1 in the back, and then currently there's 3 of these 40 millimeter Bofors. Originally, she only had 1 40 millimeter. The ship was built with torpedo tubes. So just 3 torpedo tubes on a destroyer escort, and you can aim it off either side and just fire 3 torpedoes. Now you're using torpedoes against other ships, but this ship does not have any armor. So you don't want to get too close. So most destroyer escorts, including Slater, have the torpedo tubes taken off. And then Slater was added 4 single-barreled 40 millimeter Bofors. So they had 2 platforms extending off the deck on either side. So they had a 40 millimeter, a 40 millimeter, and then 2 single-barreled 40 millimeters back here. That's how Slater looked until May of '45 when she went to the Pacific. So in New York, they took those off and added the 2 twin-barreled 40s. This is your main gun to shoot down planes in World War II. At the very least, kamikazes. So there would have been ammunition lockers all throughout here for ammunition, but here's what you're firing. So you have 4 rounds at a time. Each one would weigh close to 4 pounds. You'd grab the entire clip, hand it to somebody that's standing on the platform behind this guy and on the other side. They load it into the top. That's just a cover. And then you turn, aim, and fire. As fast as you can load this is basically as fast as you can fire. So out of each barrel, and it's water cooled, which is great, about 100 to 120 rounds a minute in a perfect world. And you don't have to worry about changing out the barrel, it getting too hot. Now, what's even better for this gun is there's 3 tubs, 1, 2, and then 3 behind us. That's your gun director. So someone will climb up in there, whatever they aim at, they basically just have another Mark 14 gun sight, like what's on the 20. Whenever he turns and aims at, it is directly connected to the gun. So it will automatically turn and aim at that same target. And then all you need to do is load and fire.
So none of the guys actually on this part of the weapon were aiming it. So
If they were using the gun director, no. But they're
Okay.
still here for that backup, that redundancy. Because it still requires electricity.
yeah.
You lose power, he's injured or killed, now you switch to local control. There's just a lever here to pull out and engage local control, and then you can just start physically turning and aiming the gun. If you want to get up there, you can. There's little steps in the back.
We go. Climb on top.
Would you like a helmet?
Absolutely. Safety first.
Oh, yes.
My knee's a little bit in the way here.
Yeah, so you can put your feet on these footrests.
There we go.
There you go. And then you can put your other hand on the other handle there.
And then it just turns. Yeah, not too bad.
So you're called the trainer. You're going side to side. The pointer goes up and down.
Okay. So, and this could have been moving. I mean, obviously, you're trying to shoot down an aircraft, so you could have had this thing moving almost constantly as they're trying to track down
Yep.
the aircraft.
Yeah. And then the shell casings, after you fire, are being ejected out the front. There's a trap door on each side. You just shovel it down. There's a basket below us where they would collect. And then you do your best to recycle the brass.
And do you let? I know you mentioned earlier about kind of the interactive exhibits. So, is this something that the public can always interact with when they're coming on board the ship?
100%. Generally, we spend most of the time on the guns, the 3-inch and the 40, and the 20 to a lesser extent, because we let you get up on it and move it. It distracts the kids, or also just gives the parents something to do. It's wonderful. Car companies made these. So again, it's from Sweden, neutral. We got the contract to build them, and then you had like Chrysler and I believe it was Ford or General Motors in the US building these guns. I believe these are Chrysler built. But highly, highly effective. For about a 4.5 mile range, upwards of about 120 rounds a minute out of each barrel. Plus throwing the gun director, you had a fairly high accuracy to shoot down planes, especially kamikazes.
Yeah. And was this another situation where if they ran out of the ammunition here, would they have to go below decks to get more?
So they did have lockers here. So in the meantime, they're taking it from there. The main deck magazine for these rounds is right below us, so they could get more immediately.